This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I'm going to talk about Mrs. Midwest and give a response to her newest video about college tips. She's a fantastic woman. She has a great channel about femininity and also about her beliefs. She's Christian. And I think she has a lot of great stuff. But when it comes to college degree, I have to give some of my viewpoint and an angle, a different angle than what she's putting forward, because she's basically talking to girls that are already in college and also to girls that are thinking about college a little bit, just giving them advice. And what's quite interesting is that she has a feminine channel. It's about femininity. And when it comes to my definition of femininity, is to be unburdened and not burden yourself with responsibility. Well, on her video, she was talking about how this is a time, those 4 years, basically from the time you're 18, 19, 20, and you choose to have a 4-year degree in college. She says that this is your time to do some adulting. This is the time for you to step into responsibility and to learn to be rational and logical and not hot button emotional, and to kind of overcome your emotional side. And for me, that's just kind of like a complete opposite of what I look at when I think about feminine girls. Like, the more responsibility you will put on yourself as a woman, the less feminine you're going to become. You're going to become more masculine. You're going to be more responsible, more burdened, and your life is going to become more difficult as a result. Let's look at the end goal in mind, okay? We've got to look at it from the perspective of the 3 categories of life. Again, it's very critical that we do that. We've got relationship, health, and finance. The only really valid reason for going to college really is the financial aspect of things. You don't go to college in order for you to be healthy. If for health purposes, you could just join a gym and eat well. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you don't need college for health purposes. When it comes to relationships, you don't need college in order for you to have good relationships and for you to find your husband. Now, in her case, as Mrs. Midwest, she says that in college she did meet her husband-to-be. Now it is her husband, and, she's glad that she met him, obviously. But I can promise you that it's not the best way to meet him. And it's not the best place to be looking either. College is known for, it's famous for its hookup culture. If you go to college, the probabilities that you will be sleeping around with many different men, unless you get one boyfriend in the beginning of college and then you stick with the same guy throughout the college experience, or you're highly, highly, highly religious and you choose to remain not interested in guys during this entire time, women sleep around in college. This one thing, I would say, is the biggest reason why I say going to college is like a horrific idea. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous idea. If you had started a first year and 2 years of college, maybe 2.5 years of college, I would tell you to quit today. Okay, like, get rid of it. Stop it. Don't go to college anymore. Drop out as fast as you can. Now, if you've gotten past the 2.5-year mark and you're almost close to your bachelor's degree and you know that that's going to make a huge difference career-wise because you, for some reason, want a career, then great, finish it off. Okay, you might think, well, but what about my long-term? I think long-term I'm going to be beneficial to actually finish my college degree. No, it's not going to be if you desire to be feminine. That's what this channel is about. So I'm going to give you counsel for and advice for becoming feminine and to remain in your feminine state and not to slip on the slippery slope of masculinity. The more masculine you are, the more of a void you're going to feel in your life. The more of an emptiness. The more of, you're going to be in an empty shell. You're going to look at your body and be like, who am I? Like, I'm not even happy. And I've done this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. What was my life for? And you're basically going to be massively unhappy with yourself. You're going to have money, but you might not have money because of this void that you've had, you're spending a lot of money. You keep spending. The more masculine you are, the more of a lavish spending lifestyle you desire. Because you think that that's going to fill the void. And it does temporarily. But then over time, because you don't have that much money, and then you're like, I will make a lot of money in the future, so I'm just gonna use my credit card, or I'm gonna get a consumer loan, or I can just put this on the customer card. And over time, interest rates are gonna attack you from all sides if you're not wise. And the fact that you have to even think about money and think about being, thrifty and frugal and all that stuff within your budget, within your money, is gonna make you masculine. If you are given a budget from a high value man who is your husband, who you trust and who you love, and who has the power in the relationship when it comes to the financials, you're going to be submissive and feminine when it comes to that budget. Instead of being masculine, you're going to think about your frugality and your thriftiness as a service and as an act of love towards your husband. It's going to be part of your job, which you're going to love, because you're going to be able to look at the thriftiness and look at the frugality and spend, and then when it's amazing bargains, you're going to tell him, you're going to convince him and persuade him with your femininity that this is an amazing sale. I've been looking everywhere. I love window shopping. And then this deal came along. Can we please buy this, blah, blah, blah. Do you think he's going to say no to that when he's got tons of money? He's got the ability to buy you anything he desires. He's given you an allowance. And guess what? If it's a fantastic offer, do you think he's just going to say no? No. He's going to say yes because he's got the financials and he's in control of it. Mrs. Midwest is presenting college as kind of like, it's a great time for you to become independent. Why on earth would a woman desire to be independent? It's crazy. She says in her video, okay, this is one of the quotes she had. Be wise with your career and your choice of your career, because it's 4 years of your life, but then you're going to work a career for 25 to 30 years eventually. And so you need to think wisely about your career. I'm like, where did she get those numbers? 25 to 30 years. Normally, 95%, if not 99% of people, when they start a career and finish their college degree, let's say they're 25 years old. Do you think they're going to work 25 years to 30 years? That means they're going to be 50 or 55 years old. That doesn't sound like the future. What's happening right now is people are retiring at age 67, but because the governments don't have money, what they're doing now is they're postponing the pension and saying that, you know what, in the future they're considering we should do 72 years old because life expectancy is growing and we don't have money to basically pay these people to live that long. So maybe we should change the pension age to 72. Maybe we should change to 77. And in the future, they're going to change it to maybe 85. It's not going to be 25 to 30 years. It will always, 95% of the time, be 40 years in the workforce. When you go to college for 4 years and become a masculine woman, the pool of basically amazing high-value men will become less for you. Why? Because men desire feminine women that need them instead of masculine women that are independent. Okay, do you understand this? And men who don't understand this are feminine and don't understand this concept, don't understand the future that they have in store for them. Okay, so it's gonna be more like 40 years, probably 50 years that you have to work in that career because you're wasting money, you're wasting time, and you're following the world. But if you join forces with the high-value man who has already established his business and already knows how to establish his life financially, and he understands the woman, I recommend men of high value, then it becomes completely different. Because his financials will exponentially increase, and so will his passive income. Passive income means that a system or other people are working for him on his team, which means that he actually can spend time with you and have tons of money in addition. Like, it's an amazing lifestyle, and you can have it from now, this age. Like, we're talking being 18 years old, locking down the right guy, or being 22 years old, locking down the right guy, and being 25 years old and locking down the right guy, instead of working a job and a career for 50 years. Wouldn't it be more worth it to spend your youth preparing for a man of high value for maybe, let's say, 2, 3, 4, 5 years until you actually find the right guy that has received a stamp that he is a man of high value? He's approved by all of your circle of friends and all of your circle of family that this is an amazing guy. You're so lucky to have him. Wouldn't it be wiser to prepare yourself for him and make yourself feminine, make yourself beautiful, remain in your feminine state, remain youthful, remain focusing on your physical and mental health, focusing on those things that are going to help your femininity, instead of allowing yourself to slip into masculinity? That just makes complete sense to me. Like, a woman who's right now a 7 to a 10, and she's 18 years old to 20 years old, she's never gonna look as amazing as she does at that moment in time. Why on earth would she not secure a man of high value and basically be free and be carefree for the rest of her life and being able to work for him instead, and then basically plan her life according to how she desires to plan her life? And don't even think about the kid part yet. Allow that to be maybe, 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, who knows? And who cares? What matters is that you don't have to work 50 years or 40 years or whatever you think is going to be your future. You can work your entire life for your man because you love him, because you care for him. He's going to be the best boss you'll ever have if you focus on your femininity and making sure that you secure the right guy and not the wrong guy. What else did she say? She's talking about, like, don't excessively drink and excessively go to parties and stuff. And I'm like, why would you drink at all? Why would you use stimulants at all? Why would you even want to meet guys that are your age? The fact of the matter is, we know that women mature faster than guys. So if you've got a guy who's the same age as you, he's in the same college campus as you, most probably he's going to be less mature than you are. 95% of the time. There's a reason why women like older guys the majority of the time. And this should be no exception for you. If you're 18 to 22-year-old, you should be looking for a guy who is mature and who is financially savvy, who is socially savvy, and who has his own business already. He shouldn't have started college and then start a job and then one day in the future I'm going to start a business. No, he needs to have already a sound, strong, foundational business set up, and then you join forces with him when he's already established. Is it a problem that he's 5 years older than you? Is it a problem that he's 10 years older than you or 15 years older than you? Who cares? If he is mature, he wants you to be immature because he doesn't want to have two mature people. If he understands the woman, he understands that for her to feel carefree, she needs to be in her feminine state, emotional, all over the place, because as long as he provides for her and protects her environment in such a way that she doesn't have to think too much about all problems that are in this world, she's going to love him for it, and she's going to be able to be immature but inside the cocoon that he's provided for her to be in. Okay, I'm not talking about her being like some sort of employee for him or some sort of like slave or whatever you want to call it. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you enjoying your life your way according to the plan that you guys have created together, because he wants you to do what you love to do instead of you having to work for a boss. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm fired up about helping you guys become feminine, and I hope that you can feel that through this video. I've seen a lot through my years, through my experience. Yes, I seem very young. I'm 33 years old, but I've been to college. I quit I quit with 1 year left of my degree because I absolutely thought it was a waste of time. And to be honest with you, it was business administration. I never used one single iota of that education for anything in my life. Anything, okay? If anything, it was an absolute waste of time. I got into college debt, which was completely unnecessary, and I was advised by old people, experienced people, academic people that get as much academic education as you possibly can and then get a safe job, secure job, so you can provide for your family in the future. And since I was a family man, I was like, that sounds like a good idea. But then I realized that having one source of income is stupid compared to having 10 different sources of income, because if one drops away, you've got 9 others. And this is how you want your husband to think like in the future. You don't want to think like that. You want your husband to think like that. You want to have your one income. Be a trustworthy man who have tons of income, because that is a very safe and secure income and allowance for you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also remember that there's a special offer now for those girls of high value who desire to be trained and coached towards femininity and towards becoming desirable for the opposite sex. Sign up. It's $100 a month for coaching, coaching sessions within a month, and basically getting constant follow-up if you desire it, and helping you to unburden yourself instead of burdening yourself with the things of this world. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.